Welcome to Playful Beginnings, a podcast about the magic of play therapy for therapists, students, and anyone interested. In our podcast, we'll explore the deeper understanding of play therapy and the skills we use when working with children.
We hope to help you understand the why behind what we do and how it helps kids heal and grow. I'm Dr. Kristie Opiola, a working play therapist and university professor in North Carolina.
I'm Dr. Maggie Parker, a play therapist and professor in DC.
Happy 1 year.
I can't believe it's
of
been
our
a whole
podcast.
year. We've done it.
We did it. We've done it. So today we want to celebrate with you guys.
Yeah.
A cake.
I know what?
That is all morning. I can eat this cake.
Yeah, that looks like good cake.
My favorite.
It's so yummy. Where'd you get it?
The grocery store.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Celebrating already. Love it. So we thought that we would kind of do a recap of what we've done in the past year. I can't believe that it's been a whole year. In some ways, it feels like no time at all. And in others, it's like we've been doing this forever. But it's been a new creative outlet, I think, for both of us. And we were just talking about how Kristie has mastered Canva, me not so much, but I'm a whiz at Premiere Pro now. So our editor, it's taken a lot of touch and go. I appreciate everyone who reaches out when an episode isn't uploaded correctly. That's very helpful for me. So thank you for your patience and for listening and or following. It's been a fun ride.
I know.
And hopefully one that continues for a long time.
I hope so. I hope people are enjoying it. I know I've had a few people share that they've appreciated the content. And so,
yeah. And I think so. Let's think about we've had multiple guests, which is really cool. So we've had Dr. Crystal Turner coming and talking with us about her play therapy journey and her passion for supporting children of diverse backgrounds and looking at the different toys that are in place and how we can help kids feel more at home in the playroom and see themselves in the playroom. We've had Dr. Ahu Line talk with us about parenting and parent consultations and how to frame consultations, which I think was really helpful.
I also think that conversation was really helpful because both you and Ahu are parents of younger children, as play therapists. And I think that's a common struggle. I know a lot of your research is focused in that area, Maggie, but I think it's an important topic as we look at the demographics of our field. Many of our colleagues are women. And so it is an additional thing to kind of
factor in and
manage and factor into how that impacts you as a play therapist, as well as the unique barriers and challenges that parents face as play therapists. And I don't think we talk about that enough. I know you do research in that area, but I don't think it's talked about enough in the field.
Yeah. I mean, I've done one study, but I think it's something I think that even 8 years ago, less than that, it was kind of said, don't talk about it. And that was the messaging that we received it within academia, at least. And so I don't think it's kind of this. I think this is what I appreciate about where we're going now is that let's just talk about our experiences because more than likely someone else is experiencing something similar. And so I also hope that not just with motherhood, but with all of the topics that we bring on this podcast, we're sharing our own experiences, our own mistakes, our own wins, our areas of growth. And I hope that listeners pick up on that and can resonate with that because we don't want it just to be us giving away the skills for free, which I think is something that we want to do. And we want to ignite passion within people about children and about child-centered in particular and kind of explain what that looks like. But also we want to kind of create a space where you can hear about other people's experiences and realize you're not alone.
Yeah. Well, because I think if you're fortunate to work at a practice with other play therapists, that's really helpful. But I know there's a lot of play therapists out there in independent practice, as well as maybe the only play therapist at an agency or the only play therapist at a practice. So we live in these islands by ourselves. And that is, I think, a challenge and can feel lonely, feel confusing, and it feels like you're tackling everything independently, and it doesn't have to be that way. That's another purpose of this podcast.
Yeah.
And not to speak of rural communities where you may be the only play therapist for miles and miles.
Miles
Or
and miles. And then even the geographic, not just rural, but in Texas, it felt like play therapy was okay. Yeah, of course. And then going to these other spaces that I've been in, what? And
Mhm.
so,
Like how hard it is to
really,
advocate for yourself as a play therapist.
yeah, yeah, that advocacy. And this is real. It's not, I think we've talked a lot about on the podcast the use of just. We're not
Mhm.
just playing. And also, play is really important. It's valuable. One of the things we've given shout outs to Armchair Expert, and we really want to be on your podcast, but they just had an expert on play and the importance of play and how play looks in childhood versus adulthood and the way we minimize it. And so hopefully this can kind of continue to shift the narrative that children are valuable and important and what we do is valuable and important.
But we hope by you guys listening, you feel like you're on the couch talking with us and it's not just us talking at you, but that we're hopefully part of your community each week
Yeah.
and you can expect, time kind
Yeah.
of with us. So that's our hope. We want to build community within the play therapy field. We want to make sure we're reaching people who may not have a community around them. And then also strengthen our communities that maybe there are lots of play therapists, but maybe you're the only one practicing child-centered, or you feel a lot of pressure not to be child-centered. Because that's another thing. I don't know if you hear, Maggie, but I know I didn't hear as much in Texas, but I do hear in my local community, I do this until blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna do all these other things. And it's,
Yeah.
talk about that. Why is that?
I just graded a paper about that. I'm person centered, but when I work in the school, I have to be solution focused. And like, hold on, let's back it up. Let's unpack this. And
Right.
there's so many pressures. And I think it's just sometimes a lack of understanding too. And so I hope that that's what this brings is that you feel heard, you feel validated, that you feel comforted, and and also that hopefully you feel strengthened and emboldened to continue to advocate and that we've given some frameworks and words to use to support that. We're not going to tell you what to do and how to do it because that's not person centered, but or child centered, right? But we are going to have conversations.
Child-centered.
So I think like that's also what I enjoy too is that sometimes there's a lot of confusion about that and what's child centered, what isn't child centered, how does this look like? And so I like that we had on people on the podcast who don't align necessarily with child centered. And so let's have a conversation about it. What are the similarities? What are the differences? How do we know what those nuances are? Because it's important to begin to think in that way and to think critically. And if we just say yes or no, then it's hard to determine then where those lines are. And it can get really blurry and complicated.
Yeah,
So
true.
who else have we had on?
Further, we've had Dr. D. Ray
Yep, Dr. D talking about her journey to play therapy and
as well
her
as the
Rachel.
importance of child-centered
Oh,
and
yes. Her stubbornness and what brought her to it, that it kept working.
it was not going to work.
I love that honesty and transparency because I think it's really real and valuable that is that going to work? And it's, yeah, let me see. Let's try it out. And then it does. And it's awesome.
And I know it's not out yet, but then we just had Dr. Mary Bennett, Morrison
Mhm.
Bennett, who's going to talk about play therapy with the littles, the under
Yeah.
three, in
Yeah.
both CCPT and CPRT.
Yeah. So one episode will be kind of talking about understanding the development of toddlers and how to work with parents and understanding from that perspective, and then how to use that developmental knowledge and how she used that developmental knowledge to build for CPRT and CCPT with toddlers. And so I think that's really interesting. And then we had Dr. Rachel Alt-Vader, who identifies as humanist, not child-centered, and really a thoughtful exploration of what technology looks like and her perspectives as to bringing it in and how to bring it in and when to bring it in. And I thought that was really interesting because I think I always have just been like, no, that's not child centered. And that is not, I think, the type of thinking that I want to have personally. I want to be able to listen and explore and use my own understanding of CCPT, talk to others within the CCPT space, and have a real conversation about it. And so I was so grateful for that conversation.
I was lucky to hear her present prior to that. And so really helped me explore what that looks like in the playroom. And if I was to bring it in, right, the thoughtful decision making I need it to do to make sure that it does align and I'm not pressured in other ways to kind of move outside my comfort zone, as well as not being so rigid to just be absolutely not, right?
Right.
Because I think that's something we have to be mindful of is our own rigidity and how that plays out. So
And I think that's something that I'm really grateful for you, Kristie, is you are so thoughtful and can help me work through things. I think, especially in my development as a play therapist, I was, well, this is how you do it. And that's why we do it. And we have to be really thoughtful. And you've really helped me grow in that and my critical thinking skills. And you read so many books and explore so many things. And so I kind of, you're my teacher in some ways. I should probably read the books, but I just listen to you tell me about them. So I can just
I think
read
that's
my
the cool thing
fiction.
about, I think that's the cool thing about finding community
Yeah.
and being able to, have supports out there. Because I mean, I definitely, I think I view you the same way, Maggie. And so it's just, you sound surprised. But just that the ideals that when we find people who help not only to support us, but to challenge us and to
Yeah.
help us process and reflect, I think those are really important
Yeah.
people to have in our networks.
And I think that's really why we started the podcast is that we would have these long conversations and feel so supported and validated and challenged, right? It's never fun to just have a conversation where you're absolutely right 100% of the time. I like it when you're able, I think we both are, well, have you thought about this or what about that? And that's kind of what we were hoping for. And I think for both of us, we believe in this so much and like so completely that we wanted a way to kind of give these skills away. And it's
Mhm.
funny because I don't telling my students to listen to the podcast. It feels really self-promoting in some ways.
I know,
But
me too.
when they're struggling with something, we did a couple episodes on this and it's an augment to class and it probably goes a little bit more in depth than we're able to go in class because you only have so many hours for each topic to cover. And here we have usually about 30 minutes to really go in depth to one specific piece. And so that's what I hope too is that we are explaining all of these things from a place of what, why, and how, so that
Mhm.
we're really explaining what it is, how it aligns with CCPT, what this means for us as a CCPT therapist, and then how you can do it within your own practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying
Okay.
to think,
Sorry, I got a emergent text there for a second.
is
I got
everything okay?
so I think so. I
Okay.
might need to hop off in a second. We have our state conference today. It starts this afternoon, but it looks like maybe one of the participants already showed up.
Oh, they're early.
Yeah, it starts at 3.
Oh, they're very early. It's
Sure.
9:45
Yeah.
here where we're recording. That's so funny. I'm trying to think about what else we've done. We've had 60 episodes, which is crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we've had by the time this airs, it'll be, I guess, 58. And then we have three in the waiting. And so we've done a couple bonus episodes. We did a bonus episode with Play Therapy Week. We did a bonus episode for the wildfires in California. We did a bonus episode with Dee. And we've also gotten a website. We have tackled parent consultations, which I think someone actually reached out and I can't remember their name, but they want us to do an episode where we look at what a consultation looks like after the 8th or 12th session. And so, and Dr. Ahuline wants to come back. She has fun on our podcast.
There's a book coming out
She
in
does. She has a
April.
new book.
Mhm.
So we should do that. And then
Also, just I'm
We,
going to plug really quick. UNC Charlotte in January is going to have a full day. So if this person is on the East Coast and wants to come to Charlotte, we're going to have a 2-day conference on the 9th and 10th of January. The first day is going to be on parent consultations
there you go.
and working with parents. And then the second day is going to be activity-based
Ooh,
play therapy.
yeah. I think that's a good one. We've talked about development and different ways CCPT looks with different developmental stages. I was thinking, I know that Kristie Wallen identifies as an Adlerian play therapist, but she did talk about, I think with Kara Carnes-Holt, CPRT with preteens, and Alyssa Swan did. There's a bunch of people that we could maybe bring on to talk about that. We've talked about a whole slew of skills.
We're just finished closing our skills chapter.
Just closing our skills chapter. Tisha Moon from Family and Child Place in Vienna, Virginia, reached out and asked us to do some episodes on how to talk to parents about different diagnoses and how child-centered aligns with the different diagnoses. So I think we're going to start doing that. We've talked about grief in relation to the Texas floods that happened in July with Dr. Jennifer Balch. And that was really, I think, impactful and helpful.
Heavy
For sure. And what else have we done? We've got our Facebook up, our Instagram up. We did play therapy bingo at APT. We have some cool swag. Look at these. I like the iridescent. I didn't give this one away because it cracked. So I kept it.
I know, and we want to create some t-shirts and some other things just as giveaways. We're not looking at having a marketplace where people can buy stuff.
Yeah.
We're not trying to make an income here, y'all.
I mean, it'd be great. It'd be lovely. The more people that follow us. Actually, that is something I want to talk about because I do know that we have started having ads run within the podcast, and some of them are from BetterHelp, and we don't get to choose the ads. And so I just wanted to say that this is not us endorsing any platform. We're not endorsing Ryan Seacrest any more than we're endorsing BetterHelp. And so just letting our listeners know that. And yeah, so we've got some ads that go in that we don't have, we can take them off, but we don't have control over those. And then posting a bunch of stuff on Instagram and Facebook that we hope is helpful. So please share with your friends, your colleagues. If you are a faculty member, share it with your students. If you're a supervisor, share it with your supervisees. There's one faculty member I'm going to shout out, Dr. Robin Cleveland. And she is supervising someone in CCPT and she didn't know anything about it. And so she listened to the entire series.
Really?
Yes. She was like, I need to know. And so when we talk, she's, oh, remember when Rhodes didn't wear a shirt to preschool? I'm like, what? She was like, I listened to your podcast. It was the nicest, most this is a woman that I very much respect and admire. And so the fact that she was like, I'm listening to your podcast, I was, oh my God. So
yeah, there's been some surprises. We've had people let us know that they're overseas listening to our podcast.
Yes, someone from Ireland reached out too.
So I think that surprised us. I know Maggie and I both teach at academic institutions, and we're doing some information sessions as we're getting ready to enroll our next cohort. And several people said, I listened to your podcast. And I was, wait, what?
Yeah. I think that's what my university is hoping for because they are publicizing that I have a podcast.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. But it caught me off guard because that's not where I'm assuming people are going to share. But I do think it speaks to what Maggie and I have hoped from the get-go.
Yeah.
That this is really a place, right? That people come to take a pause, think about what they do.
And hopefully it's entertaining too. It's
not
just like listening to the lecture. I think this is probably more fun than us lecturing.
Yeah, I want this to feel more we're just having a conversation on a couch. And sometimes Maggie and I actually get to have conversation on a couch and record us sitting in the same room. I wish we could do that more often, but
yeah,
always being that close.
Yeah, it's always nice when we get to. And we will soon because it's coming up on the holidays, which is great.
And I will be in Northern Virginia, so
yes.
Maggie.
Something else that a lot of people have reached out about and that Kristie and I have not talked about yet. Yeah, we haven't talked about it concretely. We've talked about it really abstractly, but a lot of people have reached out asking for consultation groups with us to be able to extend this conversation to their own practices and have us kind of be a part of those conversations. And so that's something that we're thinking about. We're trying to think about what a price point would be and really where we can fit it in with our very busy academic and administrative calendars and trainings, and kind of looking at what that might look like and what people are interested in. We've been talking about doing child-centered play therapy trainings since we did the training 4 years ago. It's been a while, but really trying to see how we can expand. And I think that our first kind of goal was to figure out how to do this podcast and how to make this work, and figuring out Canva and social media. And I'm sure you guys have noticed there are lulls at times. And usually that's when we have 25 things to grade and 10 PMRs to write for
Personal vacations, doing some self-care for ourselves.
yes,
I think there's a component of this too, but we want this podcast to continue before we start and make sure
something
that
new.
we solidify this before we do other things. But
Yeah. And we want to make sure that it's quality and it's what you guys are looking for. And so please continue to email us. It may take us a while to email you back, but that doesn't mean
we
that
look at them. It just doesn't mean we always get responses back. We apologize about that.
we're working on it. It's
Not our strong suits. And I think the other thing is, I think at the heart for both Maggie and I is we really want you to, or we want to support your identity as a play therapist and
yeah.
your commitment to the field. And we are both active members of the Association for Play Therapy, and we encourage people to be members of their state, the national
Mhm.
organization, and then as well as those specialty organizations. I don't think one should take over the rest, but I do know for me that has been where I've been able to lean into and really kind of, we joke every year as we're going to APT that it feels like we're going home, a little retreat, a very busy retreat of getting to get reconnected with people from across the country and hear amazing presenters in the field of play therapy. And so,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's really important. So yes, please reach out to the Association for Play Therapy and become a member. And your state board is so important. Both Kristie and I have been really active within our own state boards, both served as president and now past president, which I'm
Yeah.
almost done. And I think we want to be a place for trusted information. I think that's a big one. I hope that you feel like you can trust the information that we're providing, and that we're not going to, again, we're not going to be, this is how you do it, because it's not always that cut and dry. So I hope you hear us having these, well, maybe, I don't know. Is that how? So
Well, and I think as long as you are rooted within the principles, the six principles of CCPT and the Rogers' work, Axeline's work, there's so many great theorists and authors who've come and written about child-centered, and that you use those to guide you. That's what we want most of all.
yeah, yeah,
And that you're making good clinical decisions, but you're also looking at things with a critical eye.
yeah, yeah.
That's
And we're the academics in us, yes. And we post a lot within a couple of the Facebook groups, and try and provide support that way too. And if you have questions, you can always reach out to us, and we will do our best to probably answer them in a very academic way. I use a lot of, I'm curious, and what's going on for you in this moment?
all that congruence. Dang it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, happy
Well,
birthday.
cheers. Oh, you can't see it. Cheers to our first year of Maggie.
Cheers. Cheers. We did it.
We did it, and we're excited to continue it. So, thank you guys for the support. Even if we were just talking to each other, to be honest, this is such a delight of both of our weeks. We love just time to talk about play therapy. So, but we're glad you're here on this ride with us. Again, if there's topics, if there's questions, you can reach out to us. You can connect with us on the Facebook page, as well as you can email us info@playtherapyspace.com, or you can use each of our first names, so Maggie at playtherapyspace.com if you want to talk to Maggie in particular, or Kristie at playtherapyspace.com if you want to talk to me.
And also info@playtherapyspace.com if you don't care who we talk to.
Yeah. Did I miss
That
that?
goes, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
Who knows? It's
And
good
then
the semester, y'all, so
we're in the thick of it. Yeah.
not all together. So
We're figuring it out day by
figuring
day,
it out.
just like y'all.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
thank you, Kristie.
Thanks, Maggie. Everyone have a great week. We can't wait to be back next week as we try to figure out our next chapter. We have some ideas, but I'm not sure if we're rolling them out now or in the new year. So stay tuned.
Whoop, whoop. Thank you to our listeners. Thank you for being here for us. We appreciate it.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.